Let's talk about wow, 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 wow. Hey, let's talk about. I said, let's talk about this top flight security cop on Ahmaud Arbery's case, y'all. Let's talk about. Let's talk about this super cape and capping female cop on the Ahmaud Arbery's case situation. I couldn't help, but we had to come before you. We have got to discuss this situation of this raw video. Police body cam following fatal shooting of Ahmaud Arbery. This female cop who was caping super top flight security was doing all she can do far beyond that anybody could ask could see. First and foremost, let me give all praise and glory to the Most High in the name of Yeshua. Blessed be High on my soul and all that's within me. Bless His holy set apart name. And in the Yeshua, the true living word, I shall be confident and He shall be glorified. Excuse me. My mind is still like, I'm still taken by what I see in this video. I know this video is 11 months long, 11 months old. And there's a lot of people, it's 10 minutes and 58 seconds. And I'm sure there's some people that are looking back at a lot of things after hearing the guilty verdict. What they think, I'm tired. Can we as a people stop just accepting justice, which is the standard of just us? Can we not just want them to be put in jail, but seek vengeance? And I mean vengeance by righteousness. I'm talking about go before the Father. And I mean, it's nothing wrong with praying that tormenting angels be sent to her. If you have to guess what I mean, Psalms 109 is a wonderful example of how to pray for your enemies. And so as I'm sitting here and I see, I'm going to play it with you all, the video, and let you all, we're going to look at this video and we're going to stop and discuss this top flight security cop female on the case when Ahmaud was shot on the ground, still breathing. Yes, I said it. He was still breathing. One of the officers had that was on the stand during the trial stated that it was a death gargle. So basically, this man is death gargling, but he's still talking to the other ones as if, oh my goodness, let's call he didn't even say, let me get the ambulance out here. Talking to the McMichaels like they are complete survivals of heinous, like a deer hit their vehicle, or as if a wild beast flew out of the woods and, oh, you guys okay? So let me go ahead without further ado and play this video with you all. Perhaps you might not have seen it, and if you did, let's discuss it together. Let's talk about this. Now, mind you, the beginning of it, you're going to see walking, but you don't hear anything, which means she chose when to turn on her microphone. And when she turned on her microphone, she goes, I know, which means whatever she was saying in the silence was something that would not have been a professional, good reflection of her, especially when we have seen that Travis stated effing Nigger to our beloved deceased brother, Ahmaud Arbery, while he shot him the third time. So I'm going to go ahead and play it. So here it is. Let me turn this light off because it's doing too much right now. Hold on. Matter of fact, I'm going to bring my brightness down. That really will help y'all as well. Bear with me. I'm going to turn down my brightness so that way you all can see a lot clearer. Okay, pardon me if I'm not too good with the graphics of putting the little share the screen and all this jazz. We're going to make it through the storm. Okay. What you really want to hear is what she begins to start saying. Okay? Because it's what she's saying that it's what she's saying for me. Okay. Did I press play or no? Yo, I ain't even press play. Come on now. So here she is walking. His head's turned towards her. So I mean she's obviously saying something as she's approaching him.
I know. Just breathe, okay?
Boom. That's the first thing I want to address right there. I don't know what she know, but she tells him, just breathe, okay? Let me talk to you about just breathe. Like this man on the ground was while he was gargling and dying, she's concerned about him just breathing. Don't worry, just breathe. Everything she said in favor for the McMichaels, I want y'all to get your pen and pad. If you don't, I'm going to do it for you. That's okay. I'm going to get my pen and pad. I'm going to write these things down. So when I know what to pray before my father, I know what things that needs to be denied her. Okay, we want the Most High to deny, bro. I want her to wake up in the middle of the night. I want her to wake up in the middle of the night and have a hard time breathing, trying to catch her breath while she's driving her patrol car. I want her to have a hard time trying to breathe this winter. On this day, as she's feasting or probably on her way to some cop party or going to some whatever shenanigans or wherever she's on her way to do, I want her to have right now in this very moment have a hard time breathing. We're right now on the list. Breath. Breathing equals needs to be denied. Because I'm not playing this evening. When I told y'all I was looking to move mountains, that's exactly what my intentions is today. Well, now we're talking about evening.
All right. Can we get some stuff for you to clean up with, all right, sir? Okay.
Boom. Let me get some stuff for you to clean up with, sir. So she's concerned about him breathing. She's concerned about him being clean, which means get this dirty blood off you. This is the understatement of what she's saying. Get this blood off of you. So she cares about him being clean. I'm praying the Most High has some kind of situation this winter where her hot water is turned off. Whereas if maybe some storm that's going to come through here through the winter months makes her pipes burst or whatever have you may, okay? Being clean, being denied. So breathing and being clean. These two things right there is very essential and important for all humans. Do we not agree? Was he able to breathe? Did they care about him being cleaned up? I'm talking about Ahmaud Arbery. Let me tell y'all something what's so tormented and wicked. Yeah, they might be getting sent to prison, but let me tell you something what the mother, Wanda, I believe her name is Wanda Cooper Jones, has to now deal with, and the father as well. They have to deal with the fact that these type of videos are on the internet and that she has to deal with the fact that the defense attorney had the nerve to say in the court hearing his dirty toenails. But y'all didn't give him a chance to go home and clean himself from running at least 5 minutes. And I saw the outline play of how he was running. He went this way and went that way. The whole neighborhood. You do that much running, and people that run for like run. It's nothing like your old running shoes. When you get new running shoes, you gotta break them in. But when you have some old shoes, chances are they might be a little dirty inside, and it'd be from just sweating or whatever have you. He didn't have no socks on, so he could be picking up dirt as he was running or jogging.
You first. Yes, we gotta take some photos and then we'll get something for you to clean up. All right. Go get your camera. All is fine. Go get something along those lines, and you can get my phone, your phone, whatever. Start using that because I don't have a camera either. And if you'll ask one of those guys if we can get some of the disinfectant wipes.
Disinfectant wipes.
But just something we can clean up with. Thank you. That's okay. Do you have any other weapons or anything on you? Just that. Okay. If he would stop. That's fine. That's fine. Like I said, just take a breath.
She goes, I know. How do you know? And he's giving you not even a statement. Before you concern yourself about cleaning him up, you need to be getting a statement. She doesn't have a pen or pad. She wants to be his mama. She wants to be the neighborhood. I clean you up. I know it's all right. I know. Sit here on my porch. What he thought he was doing. Oh, baby. Well, you know what? We're going to get you some disinfectant wipes. Wicked.
No, don't get blood on yourself.
Don't get blood on yourself. Do what you need to do, man. That part right there. She goes, I can only imagine. I'm going to need Most High to help her with her imagination since she wants to only imagine. I'm going to help you. I'm putting that on the list for her. Enhance her imaginations with the reality of what happened here. Not only that, but torment and terror. You know what I'm about to do too? I want to get a history. I want to get that location on the maps of Brunswick, Georgia. I want to get that in history and see perhaps how many trees, just for estimation, how many possible trees around that local area could have been trees that while people were lynched on. Just want to know, because you know how territorial demons are.
You got anybody who wants to call for you?
You got anybody you want to call, like a lawyer?
I've had break-ins, a gun stolen. Called him the other day. And I was outside, saw him running by.
He made this whole story up. She asked you if you need anybody to call. Not read him no rights and have him handcuffed. First of all, you're at the scene of a whole crime, woman. Before he gets to say, why is he not cuffed? Oh, surely he's not the threat. But do you not understand that most cops, when they actually have any weapons or they actually be concerned about, it's for their whereabouts. Here she's talking to him alone with no cops near her to watch her back. But the one cop said he couldn't provide any aid to Ahmaud Arbery because he had no one there to watch his back. But the threats you were sitting there casually having conversation with. See, this is the problem with a lot of you Edomites, whether you soft or you didn't gentle. I got something else to share concerning that Rittenhouse situation. That most of the children of Jacob, we shouldn't be really giving a John Brown bell. That ain't none of our business. Let me put it to you like that. Straight up. We got our own fish to fry. Okay? I know. At first they made it think like he was shooting in one of the protests of during our people. But wait till I share this tea that I got for y'all. Wait till I share this tea with y'all. Oh, yeah, let me address what he was just saying. So he goes to say to her after she asked if he had anybody to call. If he would have just stopped, I wanted to talk to him because I had my gun stolen out my car the other day. So he was running and I seen him and I went up to him. No, he wasn't running. He was actually jogging. He had running shoes on, which means he was jogging. Even when they make the mention about him doing something to his pants, he had a belt around him. How y'all know he wasn't tightening his belt or he wasn't fixing his self, whatever had probably checking to see he had his phone, or probably could have dropped his phone somewhere around. You don't know what that brother Ahmaud was doing while he was jogging. Talking about he was checking his pants like as if he had something. Then this is the part that gets me. When the guy goes, I think it was Travis who said, I would not chase or pursue a man who's armed. You make a mention about a gun that's stolen. You're trying to speak in a manner we're supposed to believe that he possibly is a suspect that stole your gun, which means he might be armed with your gun. He even says on the stands that one thing about his fear was always having somebody overpower him and take his gun when dealing with a shotgun. Shout out to the strength of Jacob, though he shot him one time. You actually saw like the blood mixing in the smoke with the gun smoke. This brother was still on you, punching you up and fighting with you. You shot him. It took you 3 shots for you to lay him down. Talk about the strength of Jacob. Esau, what would you have done if you didn't have no guns? We would have been probably wiped off this planet by now. But what really is disgusting to me is she is being such a top flight security cop. And I have to say security because it puts me in the mind. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Top flight security, Craig. She might as well just get a picture and say, how I look, family. You look like the one female that's probably going to have to deal with the fact that you sat here and rolled out the red carpet and wanted to cater to murderers who killed that man in cold blood. Malice, might I add. Intentional. I mean, they went extra out their way. If you look at, I'm not sure what day of the trial it was when the people who put the pieces together from like a map view of how they went all the way out yonder to come around here to block him. The problem is, Issa, y'all got too much time on your hands. The elder generation of racists, it's like he took this young son on his first hunting. I'm going to show you how we're going to get him, son. I could imagine what they were discussing that long ride as they were going and trapping. I could just only imagine. But we're going to help this female cop by prayer. This is the one thing I love, and I'm really learning to get appreciation of prayer. I don't have to be where you are. I don't need to know your name, nor do I need to know your location. I don't got to get a gang or posse or weapons. I will just simply go into my prayer closet, and my prayers will come see about you. That's right. Not only you, but your family as well.
Come out of the truck, running at us. I told him stop till he hit me. I had nothing to do.
Let me pause it for my beloved sister Bonita Murray. Shalom, sis. I was trying to figure out what happened to you. Sis, I'm trying to tell you. You know what happened when that time we had that one video talking about the babies having cardiac arrest. I'm gonna say allegedly, right? Allegedly from the vaccines. Do you know they had put me on a probation saying that was a strike? You can't say such things. This is in the third. I didn't even say it. I was actually sharing it on my platform. It was my position they didn't agree with. Hey, y'all, I'm live. Don't come up the steps like that. I know y'all boys and everything. Yeah, we're talking about this extra terrestrial cop who basically wanted to roll out the red carpet for the Travis Michaels while he just got done shooting him and Ahmaud's on the ground gargling and he walking around all panically as he should have been because guess what? He just snatched his soul. Do you know what they asked him on the stand? What was the first thing that came to your mind when you shot him? He didn't show, oh my God, like he didn't show humane remorse like it should have got that far. I didn't mean to kill him. He never said, I didn't mean to kill him. I just wanted to talk to him. No, it was, if he would have had to just stop when I want to talk to him. He said he thought about his son. Hold on a second.
I just want to show you when you're done, okay?
Okay, you did some painting?
No, it's something else.
Y'all cleaned up down there?
Wait, Mom.
You did something special?
It's a surprise.
Okay. So,
Come on, play a game.
I'm going to be praying that the cops also get charged or something be done. We're not done, family. We're not done. We're going to help our sister Wanda Cooper Jones in prayer, interceding and intercession concerning these police officers has something be done to them in the physical realm, and most certainly in the spiritual realm. We're talking about physical realm, which is boots on the ground, and when we speak of spiritual realm, we're talking about in the angelic force. Okay, the military, United States ain't the only ones with an air force, if you know what I mean. So let's go ahead and finish playing the rest of this clip of this. She might as well ask him, "Can I get your autograph?" Because she's so pressed. And the only identification we have of her is we don't have her badge number or anything like that because she's standing behind the camera. This is her badge, her person camera. But we got her tattoos, and I'm gonna look up those tattoos because I'm not sure if it's like the Saints, the New Orleans Saints symbol, where it looks that little pointy little thing, but it looks like something like that on her arm, and it's like some north side. It's like points. I would bet that that tattoo has something to do with some kind of racism. I guarantee it. We're gonna look that up. Listen at this top flight security cop.
You're also we're gonna be around your headquarters. We're gonna talk to some investigators. Everything's gotta be done right.
Can't you hear behind her talking like a smile, like we got you, like you don't have to right. When she says everything's gonna be done right. This is not how a typical cop talks to a freaking murderer on a scene. She lets him know, we're going to cover you. Like, don't even worry. We got you. Like, no, sweetheart, you don't got him. Because what you fail to realize is this very earth you standing on, there's a possessor of this earth who rules all things. And he got you, sweetie. And then when she gets to cooning about, I can't apply cooning her. I have to say there's another term for her. When she starts pantsing for his dad, she goes, "Is that your dad?" Like, just listen to her. Sickening.
I got you, so.
What's so funny though? want you to pay attention for that tattoo on her arm. This when she starts taking the
I
pictures.
understand that. Hear you. It's fine.
All female cops got to have those masculine watches and those masculine rings. And
Kind of stand like that, so I just want to.
there you go. Look at that. Look at that tattoo right there. You see it? Hold on. Let me take it back a little bit. I'm going to bring my resolution up just a little bit more so that you can see it a lot better. See, y'all are called cops, and what y'all do is enforce the law. See, we being the children of the Most High, we enforce our Father's law. So, hey, it's really not nothing really much for us to make sure we remind our Father, like that one widow that kept going before the judge. We want to keep going before our Father and remind, hey, Father, there's some other people in this case. We want you, because let me tell you something. Gregory, knowing he got fired as a cop, there's some other blood on his hands that's like been the Most High has been hearing and hearing and hearing. Ahmad happened to be the vessel that the Most High will allow to speak out and say, this is the final verdict concerning you. And this blood that was crying out. And guess what? By his son being caught with him, look at that, twofold. Not only did the father get caught up, but his son being caught up with him was the Most High showing that I am cutting this house off. Just like when it said with Pharaoh and the firstborn, and the sons was slain. When the father cuts a son from a man like he did with Saul, he's basically cutting your lineage off. He's trying to cut you out of the earth, period. We're watching right now, though he might be going to jail, we're actually seeing the father say this household, the McGregors, is being cut off. There's just, I'm telling you, family. All right, let me see. Is this a little brighter? Can be a little brighter than that. Or it's just real cloudy in the picture because they're under the tree in the shade. Because I remember the one cop said to the guys, hey, let's go under the tree because, they can't take much of the sun. That's why snakes hide under rocks. There it goes. See it? Wait till she puts it up again. Get poked. Oh, I hate my phone take too long to put. Oh, it's nothing. I'll take it back a little bit. Because I want to get that tattoo. That's my intention, to get that tattoo. I'm going to look that tattoo up. Because we're going to find you, sweetie. Boom. There you go. There you go. Now, because her arm is upside down, what I'm going to do for you all is show it to you in this way. Phone automatically flipped. Should take the flip thing off. Hold on. Let me take the flip thing off so it don't flip when I flip it. Hold on. Bear with me, family. Because we are talking about this cop right here. I don't know what her name is. We don't have a badge number or anything of the such concerning her. But we got enough right now with our Father that we can locate her through the spirit realm. We're going to get a hold of her. Most likely going to come see about her. Already what I have been doing is going through this video, writing down a list of everything that she wanted to speak in favor for Travis. Basically, when she first walked on the scene, she delayed to put her mic on to the point where which was her oncoming conversation as she approached Travis McMichael, she had her microphone on mute. When she turned it on, was the part where she says, I know. Which means he might have said, they both saying something that she intentionally did not want to be said on the microphone. First thing she says to him is, just breathe. Like, I don't want your breath to be short. You're still here. Yeah, he breathing all right, but he just took the breath out of somebody else. So the scripture stands an eye for an eye. Just because people say, well, this, we know in the king told us, you have heard in times past that it's been an eye for an eye, but I say to you, pray for them that despitefully use you. He basically said, don't get your hands dirty. I want you to pray certain things that you need other ones to enforce your eye for an eye on behalf of you, because royalty don't have to get it, or there's a chain of command in this thing. Just like Mr. Greg was calling people, telling him he wanted to speak to a sheriff. He wanted to go ahead before him and his son and already get things in the forefront on behalf of their wickedness. Little did they know, the Most High was already setting them up to end themselves. And old backwards Bama dumb behind Roddy, he released the video May 5th. This happened in February. So the Most High was tormenting him then. Didn't want to act like he was such a hero. Talking about if it wasn't for him. Let me tell you something. You wasn't no hero, because if you was in good standings and you felt wrong or you felt bad about it, whatever like that, you would have been had submitted that video before the February 24th, before the spring rolled in. You would have released that. And I bet you there's other tapes as well. They're not slick.
You live right over here?
Hold on, I meant to screenshot her tattoo, because I need to screenshot that tattoo, because I'm not playing with her. I'm really not playing with Molly. That's what her name going to be, because I don't know what her name is, and Becky is played out, so her name is Molly.
I mean, just kind of staying like that, so I just want to...
Boom. Got him. Screenshot. Got that for my investigation. All right, let's proceed to let the video play. She was concerned about him breathing, concerned about him being clean, and enhanced. And her, she was like, I could only imagine. I could only imagine.
Do you have any bruises or any marks on you or anything? Do you need the squad to check you out?
No.
Do you need a squad to check you out?
Yeah, he struck me a few times.
Okay, well, let him look at you.
Let them look at you. In other words, get a report of some bruises. Notice he just said, I'm fine. Of course you're fine. You have a gun in your hand. You had a long gun in your hand. So you didn't get any report. So at this point, we can see the state of Travis McMichael. He doesn't appear to be feeling like he was defending himself in a self-defense, because when people that get into like life-threatening type experiences, even after the thing, they're like, you can tell they really was like thought their life was about to be taken. But he said, I'm fine. And he knew he was fine. Why he know he was fine? Because he came prepared to enforce his being fine self. Did he not? With what? That gun. He knew it wasn't nothing going to happen. This man's running with nothing on him. He's not even talking back to them. And he got a gun. He had the full advantage. Mind you, in a truck. Wait till the part about the water. Oh, she scratches my nerve.
This is you right here at this house?
The house there across from the gentleman right there, 230.
Okay.
And then that's my father. He was with me with this whole thing.
Okay. Jeff.
Why is your hand so clammy? Why?
But we're going to let you go home and get the change. That's why I was trying to make sure how close it was.
She doesn't even know how to think. Basically, she's not doing things according to protocol. She's under stress because she's like, wow, this is a really tough situation. It's in front of his house. It's on public grounds. It's not on private property. Ouch. So we can't push. He was trying to rob you. Ouch. He has nothing on his person. Gee. He doesn't want to get a statement stating that he was harmed. This is not going to, but of course, down there in, what is this, Florida, right? Oh, no, Georgia. Georgia, stand corrected. Of course, down there in Georgia and Florida. Out there in them southern states, these cops, they wouldn't dare think, hey, he'll get off. This is nothing. Let me let it get to the one part, y'all.
Go get this gentleman's information for me and just, yep.
Get this gentleman.
All right, let's walk. You're okay, sir.
Speaking of him in such high respects of regard, I have to understand how you feel right now. Empathy for a murderer, not for the victim.
I've taken some photos of him. We're going to collect his clothes momentarily. His house is right over there. He's willing to go to headquarters and talk to whoever. Okay, that's fine. He's fine. He's not going too far. He's just trying to figure it out.
He's fine. If she can stop rubbing her dry hands together.
If you'll pull your wallet and let me get how dry you real quick. I mean, that's... I'm going to hand it right back to you.
Wouldn't it be common sense to at least have
Yes, sir.
another cop beside her? She's doing all this on her own. That's suspect. This part.
What's your dad's name?
Greg McMichael is right there.
I know. I didn't even. I was like, wait a minute. I didn't. I'll be honest. When you pointed at him, I just saw him standing over there.
Who's your dad? Little did she, in other words, oh, I can't. I did notice him. So this goes to show you another reason why she's already acting this way towards him. This hidden favoritism. This reason of letting him want to take his clothes off, go to his house, then meet us down at the headquarters. No, you're under arrest. Put your hands behind your back. Get in the back of the car, and you're going with us down to what you call.
About a year ago, June. So not quite.
Wait a minute. What she just say? Something about a year ago? He was just with us about a year ago.
He retired about a year ago, June. So not quite.
Did he retire or was he fired? We need to get that information. Stand by. We're going to find out if Gregory McMichaels was fired or was he retired. Whatever. I don't give a John Brown by his name. It's irrelevant to me. Straight up. It ain't the Lamb's Book of Life for I'm concerned. Glenn County Sheriff's Office Where's it going? Oh, okay. Glenn County Sheriff's Office documents show that Gregory McMichaels. Let me slow down, y'all. Father, control this sketchy tongue, all right? Glenn County Sheriff's Office documents show that Gregory McMichaels' law enforcement certification was suspended and his firearm was taken away February. He talking about some June. Okay, February 2019, due to repeatedly failing to take mandatory training 1 year before the fatal shooting of Ahmaud Arbery. He retired. Oh, okay, a few months later in June. So he retired a few months later. So how is it that on this video he's asked? Wait a minute. This happened in February 2019, or was it 2020? I think it was 2019, because that was also around the time when the pandemic, the quarantine began. Let me go to the chat. Anybody can remember when exactly? Was it 2019 or 2020? I believe it was 2019, if I want to stand corrected. Because, no, it was 2020, because their new year comes in on the January. So that February, it was 2020. Yeah, it had to be 2020. So when you look at the Google and it says, oh, wait. When you look over here at Google, it says his law enforcement certification was suspended and his firearm was taken away in February 2019. So that was a year. So basically, he was suspended a year before the incident happened with Ahmaud. Notice the same month though, February. Wonder what he did. Whenever they say, whenever a dirty cop does something wicked to our people, they always try to blame it on training. We have to do better training. It's not about no training thing. You can't train a racist not to be a racist. He's a racist. Just like his ugly looking defense attorney had the nerve to stand up and say, well, how many black pastors does the Arbery family have? Well, how many white juries do you got? How many white nerds do you got to stand up and say this funny about your white looking mouth with that funny looking blonde beside you with that gray jacket who was looking like this? Her face basically showed what your attitude was simply ugly. So you did something in February. It might have been even January. You got called in on February 2019. Funny looking McMichaels. Most high, basically like a year later, that your recompense of your harvest in the same season of what you did probably in 2019. Try to blame it on no failure of trying to be trained, which means you got caught doing something. Your smack of the hand was getting trained properly. You're like, I ain't doing that training. Because you're stuck in your ways. Mosai had it come right back around. February 2020, you shot somebody's son. And you retired a few months later in June 2019. How do you... He should have been fired. That's what he should have been. He should have been fired. But it's all right. You can't collect unemployment inside of them prisons, now can you?
Just trying to figure out where you were going.
You don't have water, do you?
There it goes. There it goes.
Do you have any water in your car? Okay, just give me a second. I'll light some.
She scurries. He says, "You got some water?" She scurries. Why don't you take him to Chick-fil-A? Why don't you just go take him to your house and have a whole dinner? You got any water in your car?
Water in your car?
Oh, wait a minute. So I didn't write that on the list. So when she gets thirsty and she's at her point where she may let the Father, I'm praying that you bring her to a point in her life where her thirst be not quenched. If you want to be like, this is not righteous, Ziaria, shut up. Don't come to me with that dumb stuff. You want to go be a cape and coon for your enemies? Go away from me. Go far away from me. Because I'm going to show you how to pray for your enemies according to these scriptures.
He did, but I didn't ask any questions. He said he saw this guy last week running. He just broke in the house and he came. He started running up to him. He told him, get back. He kept telling him to get back. He came. He hit him a few times in the face.
She's giving him hearsay out the mouth and ain't writing none of this stuff down. Where is this cop at? Where is the journalist that want to interview this female cop who basically asked her, where's your statement that would match what you're saying on your mic? Where is this? I'm going to find it. I'm going to find it. Somebody better ask this cop what time it is. Now, a good way that you can find out too is if you could look at different cars and get their numbers on them and look up those numbers or call the station. But I just want to know sometimes they drive different cars. Oh, I'm about to call the Brunswick police station. When I like to know for my journalism purposes, which female cop was that we have on record, which is public information when she was at the scene. What's that name of that officer, please? For my journalism logging reports.
He's got a bruise starting to swell.
He's got a bruise starting to swell. He's not on the ground bleeding dead, though. She's so concerned. She just wants to make sure he gets some water, and he's got a bruise. But he sat there and said he was fine. He didn't need no care. Ambulance is not at the scene, nor do you even hear ambulance coming on their way. Nor did you hear her even checking. Did we get an ambulance on the scene to check the man on the ground? She's not being neutral here. She's being one-sided. I'm not sure the date order things we shut down because of the quarantine. Exactly, sis. And that, I believe, played a big part. Because let me tell you something. Before the video was released, who's to say January, February, March, April, May? Who's to say by April and March, they wasn't investigating or rumor was hearing that he was going to be arrested and they was giving him time. Just like that she was willing to say, go in your house and go get change and everything. And he's not going to do anything. He's going to meet us down at the doggone the headquarters. Heck, if he wanted to, matter of fact, I got to go home, have some dinner with my wife. I pick up my daughter from school. Yeah. Go ahead. Just get clean. Get you some water. And he's got a bruise. Just want to get you a Band-Aid for that. And then we'll see you down at the headquarters. Silly dingbat.
He's like, do you have any water? I'm like, I got nothing. Well, I don't have anything in my car either. Do you have any water?
I was about to ask if we can clean them up.
No, but you can give him some water to drink if he wants some.
Oh, okay, cool.
You don't have that kind of water? Okay.
Can we clean him up?
What's that water?
Probably clean up his face. That's hazard.
I have no problem if it cleans up completely.
It's a hazard.
He told me to hold on.
Look how they're discussing the blood of a black man. It's a hazard around his face. Was it a hazard when he was up? He wasn't worried about no hazards when he was up close and personal, shooting that man close range of the splatter of blood that a droplet could have gotten his eye socket. He wasn't worried about no hazards then. Don't act like he gives us a John Brown about bloodborne pathogens. He does not care. Half the time y'all eat stuff with blood in it. So don't get like y'all so clean and so y'all wasn't washing your hands till the COVID-19 hit the scene. So stop. We had to teach y'all how to wash when y'all came over. So stop. When did you become so clean, Esau?
I was like, okay, so I was going to let him change clothes, collect all of his clothes, go ahead and let him get
You
out
can
of
let a
it.
coon gas your head up all you want to, but this girl right here ain't gonna gas your head up.
Well, he also got hit in the face a couple times. Yeah, go.
He also got hit in the head a couple times.
I mean,
You damn right.
that's fine. So, yeah.
Somebody chase you with a gun. What the John Brown are you gonna do? You got me, boss. The only thing that he can say to her that he was doing was actually running. So let me guess. Then they kept talking about citizen's arrest if grounds of misdemeanor or pregnant. First of all, there was no felony to discuss. I know y'all can't help but mention felony without mentioning. I know you can't help but mention black men without mentioning felony or prior record. I know it's foreign for y'all. You're so used to doing it. To the fact where the defense team had the nerve to even mention his mental health and his prior drug, or record. But you didn't mention any record concerning. Oh, but the state didn't even mention any of the record concerning the McMichael Gregory. You know what? There's a lot of. She could have really assassinated that man, made him look like the dog, but she didn't have to do much more than the cameras did. What she stuck to was the facts and the law. And that was it. And the defense attorney came in like it was a circus with the little seals juggling the balls and on a little bike, the one wheel bike and hats and just acting like a bunch of clowns. Arguing if Reverend Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson should be allowed in the courtroom, minding these are elderly men at that. Beyond what they represent, they're elderly men who represent the public, who have a right to be in there. And he has the gall to say, well, if somebody come in like the colonel with some white mask, wait a minute. Our people, our civil leaders don't represent hatred. They represent fighting against your hatred. But your funny looking Colonel Sanders comment with white max, they represent hatred. And that's why Allah just said, see, if you better be taking heed. He said, you better take heed of what you're saying in this courtroom. He said, because a lot of what you're saying reflects what's going on in this courtroom right now. In other words, he didn't know what kind of, you should pay attention. Do you know who he had in his courtroom guarding him? He had 2 black guards standing beside him by the wall. What should I tell you? If this kind of judge doesn't mind, or even if he was racist. But you could tell how secure and unbothered the men that was guarding the doors, standing by them were, that they knew what kind of judge he was, a character, and they knew how it was a wrap for them character clowns. And I hope his little son is paying attention. And maybe he could try and assume that my daddy and my granddaddy, that type of mindset has to be eradicated. It's done for. And if he wants to walk in those shoe steps, he's going to be in the same place, if not worse. Pretty soon our king is upon arrival. So we can already tell he ain't going to be doing nothing but probably being slaughtered or gathered for slavery. And that's the facts. And that's truth. You can find it in your local Bible.
Yeah, like drinking water.
She wants to do jump rope hoops where he can get some water. But think about how long Ahmaud was running. Don't you think he was thirsty? That's probably why he just reserved his words and not say anything. He was probably so out of breath. He reserved his breath to even speak to these clowns because the word says, answer not a fool according to his folly. And if you can see how strong his mother Wanda is. That woman ain't got to say much. I can just tell in her face. And when I'm looking at my sister there, she is a wise woman. I'm sure she didn't raise a fool. Even though he might have some hard times, guess what? A lot of our sons in jails or had hard times can say, my mother told me. They got wisdom inside of them. It's just sometimes they choose not to listen, just like with my brother. He'll be like, I heard you. I wasn't listening to y'all, but I was listening to y'all.
Just look and see.
She going her way to make sure he gets somebody's water.
And as soon as somebody more important than me says that you can fully clean up, we'll let you fully clean up. That's
We gotta do. I mean, whatever we can do
no, I understand, but still,
for evidence and all that. I don't know.
I know, but there's no need for you to stand covered in that any longer than you have to.
There's no need for you to stand covered. Listen to what she just said at her little dirty cave beast mouth. There is no need for him to stay in that blood any longer than he should be. That's not the response that they talk about him laying in that ground, though. He shouldn't have to lay on that ground any longer than he needs to be. No, nobody provided him aid. Everybody's standing around talking. And as the cars were getting there, you didn't even hear sirens, as if someone is, and there's a scene of alert or alarm. Where's that one little funny looking Karen? Where's those two little nosy neighborhood watch ladies at? Where they at? You don't see nobody out there as like witnesses saying, oh my goodness. Now, mind you, the first day of the week is normally when they're in their houses. If they're not at church or shop or something doing laundry, that's the day where they're normally in their houses chilling because they think that's the Sabbath. I'm sure there was a lot more witnesses than what they found. That's just a racist neighborhood. Look how they're standing around, the whole EMT crew. Why do they show up? What are they just hanging out on the clock? Covering with a blanket. Have we seen anybody, a stretcher, be rolled out yet? Did we see him be picked off the ground yet?
Just one. You're just asking me to get us some water to drink, and I don't have any in my car. Okay. Thank you, sir. So that's,
Right. Like, are we getting water for a murderer? Is he involved? Of course. He's got blood on him, but was he involved? When the scripture says that the wicked are estranged from the womb, they come out speaking lies. It couldn't have been a better way to describe him. Blood on him. Was he involved? Their perception is even a lie. They don't even perceive the truth. Here it is during different interviewers and media outlets saying 3 men accused. Accused? Who was the accusation? Who was the accuser? Was it Roddy when he released the video? Was it the video that accused him? Or was it the evidence that stated clearly? It shouldn't even have been a case. It was quite clear and evident that these 3 savage brute beasts made sure they trapped this young man and publicly lynched him on public streets. Do you understand we have the right to remain silent? So because he's silently jogging, you felt the need to chase him and demand him to speak to you? I got 2 sons, and all I can do is install in them and have the trust and faith in the Most High. If they was to ever be taken, you're not gonna hear me say, we ain't gonna get no justice. I already know my father. I already know how he do. I know my father well enough that if he was to have to use me or my family as a vessel to get some work done in this earth, his will be done. But I know good and darn well that he always said vengeance is his and he shall repay. And the recompense is not stopping at a guilty verdict. This is just the beginning. For the rest of you little redneck closet racists out here. Cave beast dogs.
When y'all gonna? Yeah. Good. I can get y'all about it. Clean. Go clean his face up. Travis. Michael.
So they're just standing around. Oh, there's a stretcher.
Sarge.
She trying to run the whole thing, commanding people to get him water, commanding people to clean him up.
He's got bruising and stuff, but can they clean? I've got pictures. I'll leave it. Okay, that's fine.
Now, this is my question. I'd like to know why his wife wasn't brought to the stand of when he got home that day. What was his state? No. This is not. No. We need more. We need more information. They bring him to the stand and they ask him, What was his first thoughts after doing of what he did? And he said he thought about his son. Thought about your son, but you got another little redhead, little pale Edomite somewhere. You thought about, oh, I ain't got to see my son, which means the father must have let you know it was a rat when you pulled that trigger, didn't it? Let me tell you something about the conscience, because I believe that the Father, when he created man, I believe he created us all to know right from wrong. And him pantsing and acting the way he was, I don't think the blood really bothered him because he's an animal. People that play with guns, a little bit of blood is nothing. But more than the blood issue, I think he was more afraid of the recompense. When you pursue somebody down in such manner that they did, and the outcome becomes that, not even a city of your fellow racist friends can stop you from the vengeance in the hand of the Most High. Can I worship? Yuri Eldad. How you doing? Yes, you may. Join. Come on in, beloved. Here on this platform, we like to believe that the Most High, the Creator, I am that I am, is glorified through his Son, the Word, as it is written. And we like to share truth here. And we love to be a light. What's your OnlyFans? I don't have that. Don't talk to me worldly. I don't do that worldly communication. I don't have no OnlyFans. I don't have no Cash App. No, I don't operate like that. So I'm going to go back to my focus because I perceive there is a distraction in my midst. Moving forward, like I was stating, he knew it was over. Though his dad was a prior ex-cop, he didn't know that his mother was a praying woman and that her and who she knows as her heavenly father was interceding on behalf of her son. It may have looked like when Cain slew Abel that it was over for him and he lost. But even in Abel not having breath in his lungs and air in his nostrils, his blood was still able to speak out on behalf of him. So while they keep talking about his blood on his shirt, that was an indication of his blood crying out. And I bet you from the moment he shed the first drop, that first drop of blood was a cry unto the Father, because guess what? The Most High put that blood in that young man. And when he put it in him, it wasn't for it to be spilled by some savage, ravish, nasty cave beast dog. You know what? You don't need to be looking at my face. I need for you to hear what I'm saying right now. Okay? You will not flatter me about physical attributes. I'm talking about something serious right now. We're not talking about prettiness and all that. We're talking about this top flight security cop, female, who wanted to go over and beyond for little Travis McGregor, the one who pulled the trigger against Ahmaud Arbery. She wanted to make sure he could breathe. She wanted to make sure he got clean. She could just express her empathy for how she could only imagine. She wanted to make sure he could get out those clothes and quench his thirst. Meanwhile, there's no discussion. There's nobody nobody taking reports at the scene. Everybody's standing there with their hands on their hips and running their mouth while Ahmaud is on the ground bleeding out. So I'm calling for recompense and vengeance to reach the homes of all these officers. Stat. No, never mind you. You're getting blocked. How about that? Got time for no clowns on my channel. What you think this is? I got time for that nonsense. My husband is the Most High. That's my husband. And you can't see him if you ain't born of the Spirit.
Medical. They gotta do that.
Clown.
I gotcha. Just a space though.
Think you gonna flatter me? Water on your. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is he on the ambulance truck?
Your face off and I'll check it. Here's something to drink now.
Is Ahmad on there?
Face and check.
Yep. Until somebody more important than me.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
Hold up.
No, you're good.
I thought you wanted.
Well, we're taking all the pictures of him, all that. He's like, take my clothes, get what you need. So,
She acting like he was so willing. So look at these men, how they're not men. He comes to her and say something. It's up to you. They got this female running everything, y'all.
That's what I'm saying. Let him do it. Let him do it. That's fine.
Fire rescue. Where was the ambulance? Fire trucks? We haven't even heard a phone call that stated a 911. We need an emergency to the scene. Someone's been shot. Not only that, since their neighbors are so aware of people walking in an abandoned house, why weren't then any of them coming out on the stand to say, I called the 911 to make sure? I heard gunshots. Mind you, he's shooting while tussling. Do you understand? He could have randomly shot through somebody's window or shot some innocent bystander. Everything this clown did was just completely out of order. He could have took somebody else's life while trying to take a black man jogging's life with his thirsty having cave beast self. And if he would have, he probably would have been taking out one of his fellow racist family members or people like the such, because he lived nearby there. Goes to show you what happens when rage. That's why I don't want to operate in that anger and that rage. They can have that, because the judge also said when it comes to self-defense, you do nothing in anger, but you do it out of fear. But they always try to play like they're so fearful, but it's always the anger that they operate in. It's always savagery. That's even a word. Family. I just feel like at first yesterday I was cheering, guilty. But as I sit back and I look back and I see how the cops handled this situation, not only that, but say amongst 700 in 1 year, that's this one guilty is not going to be enough. And not just those three, but until America starts making examples of cops being biased, judges being petty. Now, I'm not saying that judge was petty. He was a lot better than the one on George Floyd's situation, talking on his mic and being a little whatever have you. And anything that was mentioned as the state was talking against the cop, he wants to override. I just can tell that judge was one of the kind of judges that wasn't going to let nobody come up in his courtroom and rock and shake his boat. He was one of those kind that you ain't shaking this boat. No, you're not going to waste my time. You're not going to waste taxpayers' money for no mistrial. Because of the crowds outside, because the mother's crying, or you want to complain about black pastors. Everything irrelevant to the facts on this case. You want to complain about what evidence we show. But until America begins to start setting examples for these kind of cops here, such as the female dog that was in this video, going on her way to make sure that Travis, whatever his name, McGregor, gets a decent opportunity to breathe, being clean from the blood off of him, because that blood was a testimony to both of them, the cop and Travis, and all those standing by of what the wickedness he's done. You know the saying, you got blood on your hands. I pray that every spot where that blood touched him, I pray that he will experience excruciating pain and trauma. Trauma to the joints. I'm speaking trauma to the nervous system. Oh, yes. I'm speaking this double fold for even his son. And the female cop, if she happens to have a female girlfriend or she just a single, whatever, anyone that loves her, be tormented to tell her every day they can how wrong she was. That they can't sleep unless they pick up the phone and say, why didn't you do the right thing? That she can't eat her favorite pepperoni pizza until she realized how wicked she was. For wanting to scratch the back of a murderer. The only similarities they had was color, and that's what she saw. And disregard that he was a fellow citizen. He wasn't illegal. He's just a black man on the ground, like a deer. That's how they saw Ahmaud Arbery. Put a blanket over him. Gather around, let's just talk. We don't need to take a statement. We'll just go by what you say. Like he said everything. She didn't feel the need to record anything down. Yeah, since he was so cooperative with us, he was so cooperative with us. Cooperative? He could have said nothing and you could have put 2 and 2 together. I would have took my 5-year-old son to the scene without them saying things. Zebediah, what can you make of this? He got shot. He got blood on him. He killed him. Is murder justified? In this instance, when you don't have the story and you don't know what happened, a cop who enforces law is not supposed to enforce empathy and compassion to a person who breaks the law. They're supposed to enforce the law. But of course, they don't have laws of righteousness, because what nation is so nigh unto the Most High like unto us, which has these laws and these commandments? They make laws such as you can have a citizen's arrest, but they weren't citizens. They were not arresting him. It had no grounds to even bother him or follow him. That's stalking. And now you're scratching the grounds of hate crime. So you're going to do some time for that too. It's a little old Travis Jr., if that's his name or whatever. We're just going to call him Travis Jr. Pretty sure he probably looks like a little leprechaun with some little orange hair poking off his little pale head. You can let him know. He can see you through the glass. And rest assured, this sister here will be sending up prayers on behalf of all involved, even those who delay. And then also that persecutor who said this is not a case that he is innocent. We ain't gonna forget about you neither. And the remainder of these cops, not just in the United States, in UK, Europe, anywhere, that are rotten, dirty, low, down, frontline huntsmen of Esau. Now I rest my case on that. I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here tonight. Family, don't think it's strange. It's if you need examples in the Bible of how to pray for your enemies, just look up scriptures. I'll just give you one. Let's see. Now Google is so funny. Google just tickles me pink, talking about it is not our responsibility to take vengeance on our enemies. Did I say it was my responsibility? No, it's my pleasure. It's my delight to go before my Father and pray a prayer. Just send a little request in. The angels are the delivery force. Hey, make sure the Father gets this request if you don't mind. Nothing much. I ain't asking for a mansion. I ain't asking for nothing ridiculous. I'm not asking for a nation of people to be slaughtered and take their lands. Just asking for his word to be implemented. Just reminding him of his word. They want to mention Romans 12:19. Remember the words of Jesus. In this situation, because they are very important, he told us to love our enemies and pray for those who persecute us. And do you know what love is? Love is keeping the commandments. I am really at the point in my life where I'm not going to be contaminated by their evil, and I'm not going to overlook it either. Because the righteous judge that the Father is, this stuff's not getting by him either. He's not, anything that he doesn't do, he is not requiring us to do. When we see the Most High begin to love Esau and say, hey, man, it's all right, then I'm a pardon you. But I'm not pardoning you, Esau. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going before the Father with prayer. That's the least I can do to keep my hands clean. You ought to be glad all I'm going to do is pray. Because we were half the savage y'all were, there would never be peace on this planet. So Google, don't play with me. And the enemies it's talking about is of our own kindred, because the word also says the precept is, thou shalt not have a grudge against thy brother. That's the enemies it's talking about. Because he got mad at Saul for not slaying our enemies. So you should see the Father's attitude when it comes to our enemies. Play with me. And of course, that came from Christian prayers against enemies. I didn't ask Google Christian prayers. I said scriptures to pray against your enemies. See how Google wants to do the most? It's hard-headed. And they want robots to take over. A few Psalms, family. Y'all know my favorite famous one, Psalms 109. And let me tell you something. The Father actually gave us this prayer this week. We and the children were going to prayer. I'm not sure which one of the children it was, but I would always ask them, baby, what did you get for us to read? And I heard one of them say Psalms 109. Y'all, let me tell you, it has been so long since I prayed it. And I said, oh, yes. Let an evil man stand over them. Yes. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and get my Bible before we can go ahead and end this out with a good old-fashioned Psalms 109. Yes, it's my pleasure. Okay, it is my pleasure. Don't you fret, lady. Don't you fret, beloved. Turn my light on here. Okay. I'm going to read out of Zion's Bible. Zion's been doing better with his reading as well. I'm so proud of him. Yes, he does. Okay, Psalms 109. I think there's another one too. It's Psalms. There's one that's like, of course there's several ones in the book of Psalms, because the enemies of ours are actually the enemies of the Most High. Okay. Okay, Psalms 109. Let's go to Psalms 109, family. We want to pray this and send this lovely. We have a special delivery for the house of all the officers in the United States and abroad that do not, judges, COs, adopting, what do we call those? Foster care parents, hospitals, any agency or company, anybody on the planet who wants to misuse their authority. This is a special delivery from the Most High's anointed unto you. Receive ye this in your bosom. And not only to you, free of charge, like my brother Holly said, free of charge unto your children as well, and your generations before you, if they still remain on this planet. All right. Psalms 109. The title in my video, the title in this one says, some Bibles have like titles. It says, a slanderous tongue. Sebadiah's tongue pooping. Yo, I know you're like, well, wasn't he wiping this up? Well, listen, y'all. Couple of carpets he done ruined. We're going to bear with me now. Okay, bear with me. But let me go ahead and take care of Zebby All right. Because he I don't want him to stand up with sometimes, kids don't wash their hand right. You just want to make sure we direct his paths and order his ways are right. All right. So I'll be with you shortly. Just stand by. I'm coming, little man. We're going to be reading Psalms 109 for good old fashioned enemies. I want you all to get your Bibles and get the prayer. What? They took that little man. Shot him down in the street. How would you feel that was you? Stand up. How do you think I might feel when you say no? You don't want any words? What's scary?
I'm not gonna say that thing now.
Wait, I'm almost done. We gotta read Psalm 109. You want to read one verse for us? We're up. What spirit you think that is? They ain't spirit behind it. Well, my son Zion, he gonna come on and read with me. Yep. And I will give you a nice little reward too, Zion. Yep, I sure am. Don't be asking for Zebediah when you see him get his reward. Don't be. No.
What?
Quiet off. All that racket. All right, family. Here we go. We finna read someone on the. Zion said he gonna read a verse for us. All right, son. He definitely want to read with us. Y'all see how Zion be doing. I'm gonna go ahead and start it off. We're gonna take off. He gonna come in and jump in and tag team off the ropes. All right, it says, verse 1 of Psalms 109. Special delivery to all the enemies of the Most High and his anointed people. Hold not your peace, O Most High of our praise. For the mouth of the wicked and the mouth of the deceitful are opened against us, and they have spoken against us with a lying tongue. See there? They compass us about also with words of hatred and fought against us without a cause. For our love, they are our adversaries, but we give ourselves unto prayer. Come on, Zion, break it down for me, baby. I'm gonna read 5, you read 6. And they have rewarded me evil for good and hatred for my love.
Set thou a wicked man over him, and let Satan stand as his right hand.
At his right.
At his right hand.
Good job. Let Satan stand at his right hand. Now, when he shall be judged, let him be condemned, and let his prayer become sin. Let his days be few, and let another take his office. Let his children be fatherless, and his wife a widow. Yes. Let his children be continually vagabonds. See, Christian, see? What you would have called David? Y'all would have treated David like as if he just sat there and shot somebody down with a shotgun. The way you read these prayers, how could he say such a thing? And beg, let them seek their bread also out of their desolate places. Let the extortioner catch all that he have, and let the stranger spoil his labor. Let there be none to extend mercy unto him, neither let there be any to favor his fatherless children. Let his prosperity be cut off. I ain't gonna just say his, I'm talking about them. Because this is addressing all the enemies, whether they be male or female, free or bond, high or low. We don't give a John Brown. Here's a special delivery just for you tonight. Let their prosperity be cut off in their generation following. Let their name be blotted out. Let the iniquity of their fathers be remembered, O Most High, and let not the sin of their mother be blotted out. Let them be before you continually, and that you may cut that they may cut off the remembering, that you may cut off the remembering of them from off the earth, because they have not remembered to show mercy, but persecuted the poor and needy man and women and children. Let that they might even slay the broken in heart, As they love cursing, so let it come unto them. As they delight not in blessings, so let it be far from them. As they are clothed themselves with cursing like with a garment, so let it come unto their bowels like water, and like oil into their bones. Let it be unto them as a garment which covereth them, and for a girdle wherewith they are girded continually. Yes. Wrap them. Let them be dizzy, Father. Let them be dizzy. Let them be lightheaded. And when they lay down, it's like they're going to get lightheaded some more. Let them be wrapped with the confusion, Father, in the mighty name of Yeshua. Yes, yes. Where's we at? Verse 20. Let this be the reward of our adversaries from Ahiah, and of them that speak evil against our souls. But do thou for us, O Ahiah, for thy name's sake, because thy mercy is good. Deliver thou us, for we are poor and needy, and our heart is wounded within us. We are gone like the shadow when it declineth. We are tossed up and down as the locust. Our knees are weak through fasting, and our flesh faileth of fatness. When you became also reproach unto them, when they looked upon us, they shake their heads. I could only imagine. Oh, you just need to get cleaned up. I could only imagine. Help us, O Ahiah. Oh, save us according to your mercy, the great I am. They may know, it is your hand that thou hast done it, Father. Let them know while they're laying in their cell beds, Father, that was your son they put their filthy hands on. Let his blood cry out like Abel's blood, Father, against them. Let them hear the cry and the gargling and the last breaths. Let his wife, his son wake up with nightmares. Every single nasty brute beast on this planet that ever put their hands on the innocent or your children, Father, let them be tormented, hallelujah, for what they've done by the actions they implement on the last tormenting moments our people left this planet. Let them begin to see our eyes when they were bulging out, being strange fruit hanging in the summer breeze, Father. Let them smell the stench of our flesh when it was burning. Let them hear the cries of the babies when they snatch them out the mother's wombs and bash their heads against the rocks. Let them drink, and let them taste it as though it was our blood they were drinking, Father. Let their fruits be corrupted, Father. Let their harvest and their farmers lose what they have in the name of Yeshua. Had to add a little bit on there. Put some little gravy on there. Okay. Yes. That they may know it's your hand. Verse 28. Let them curse, but you bless us. When they arise, let them be ashamed, but let thy servants rejoice. Hallelujah, Father. We shall rejoice in you. Let our adversaries be clothed with shame, and let them cover themselves with their own confusion as with a mantle. I will greatly praise Ahiah with my mouth. Yeah, I will praise him among the multitude. For he shall stand at the right hand of the poor to save us from those that condemn our soul. Hallelujah. Yes, 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 yes. This is how you do it when you pray for your enemies. This is how you do it. Ain't no, I'm a little, see, let me tell you something. I'm not trying to be funny, but the mother was showing strength. When you talk about this being treated equal, the Bible doesn't talk about the children of Jacob being equal. And I'm going to show you this, and I'm going to get out your hair. I'm going to show you why. The father doesn't agree with being equal. Because see, equal to, what is their standard? Before you ask something, you must know what understand what you're saying. Equal to an animal? Or you just want to be able to get, because they're able to get away with the evil they're doing because the father doesn't love them. You don't want to be equal to that. You want to be above because righteousness exalts a nation. And whether they tell you or you believe it or not, we are a nation of people. Two nations are in the womb of her. They should be separated, not equal, separated. He said over here, look at this here. Deuteronomy 28, it says, and it shall come to pass that thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Most High, thy keeper, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Most High will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. And all these blessings shall come on you and overtake you, if you shall hearken unto the voice of the Most High. Blessed shall you be in the city, and blessed shall you be in the field. And blessed. Thank you, my beloved sister Bonita, for being with me tonight, praying with me as well. And my brothers and anybody else out there in the background is praying. that you know how to pray against your enemies. We're not here to play no games with them. You understand? You ain't bitter. You ain't rude. It ain't hatred. It ain't wicked. To stand firm in what you believe. Solid. You can't serve two masters. You either hate the one and love the other. We're not serving Esau no more. We're not going to be looking unto Esau as a God. We look unto the Most High, from whence comes our help. Love y'all so very much. I pray that y'all have a wonderful night and that y'all will remember this scripture and other scriptures. And I want to make it our business to make sure we are continually exercising our right to prayer. You can do it while you're walking, do it while you sleep, while you're laying down. You can talk to the Father till you fall asleep, while you're at your table eating dinner. And in between that, rejoice. Don't be a person that keeps praying, Father, please. Don't beg. That's why he said, he that come unto him must first believe that he is. When you pray, know that what you're praying, you will receive. Okay? All right. Many blessings to you and your loved ones as well, my beloved sister Bonita Murray. Thank you again. I love you. Sweet rest to you and your household, sweetheart. Love you. Shalom. Shalom. Peace. Is that what I say? Shalom. Sweet rest.